If you're thinking about getting a new set of wheels, the next week and a half might be one of the best times of the year to do it. But a question you might have, do you lease or do you buy? We're going to help you out and figure out what is best for you. Financial advisor and vice president of Charles Schwab and Company in Albuquerque, Mike Bonds, is back with us. Good morning, Mike. It's good to see you.
Good to be here.
Okay, so this really is a great time to get a car. Why?
Well, people are trying to get rid of their inventory before the end of the year. I guess the dilemma that you have to figure out is whether you want to buy or lease.
Yes.
And the biggest dilemma when you're financing all that is you're financing a depreciating asset. So it's not really an investment, so don't think of your car as an investment.
So basically what you're saying is cars just cost us money. They take our money and we get very little besides a mode of transportation out of it.
The satisfaction of driving a nice car.
There we go. All right, let's start out with what's best to do. If you want to lease, who is that for?
Well, there's some pluses and minuses to leasing. Leasing is basically renting a car for a certain period of time, right? You're not going to have anything when the lease is over with. Most leases are going to be 2 to 4 years, and then you just walk away. But there are some caveats to leases. Back to some of the pluses really quick is, one, the upfront costs are less, your monthly payments are less. That's generally what draws people to leases.
You can get a nicer car for your money.
Right, right. The other things you need to look at are on leases. There's a lot of restrictions. So there's mileage restrictions on, you got 12,000 to 15,000 is generally what the parameters are.
Per year.
And if you go over, there's a little bit of cost involved.
A little bit of cost or a lot of bit of cost?
Each mile, I'll let them work that out with
Okay.
you. And you have to keep the cars or the vehicle that you're leasing in pristine shape, because if you get any dings or dents, that's going to cost you as well. The other thing you have to remember about leasing is that when you have insurance, if you happen to get in an accident and you total the vehicle, the insurance is only going to pay for the value of the car, not pay out your lease. So you're going to have gap insurance that you'll need to pay out that lease.
Okay, that's some very good advice that people may not think about. Okay, now what about buying? What's the good and the bad about buying a car outright or financing it?
Buying is for cars that you're just going to keep for a longer period of time. I always liken this, and I'm a truck person. So I want to buy a truck because I'm going to use a truck. I'm going to use it to haul. I go hunting a lot and those kinds of things. It's going to get dinged up. I'm going to buy that type of vehicle because I'd pay too much in the expenses if I try to lease something like that.
Gotcha.
I always liken cars are better lease objects because you can get from point A to point B and look really good doing it. We were talking about leasing really nice cars.
Right, for a decent price. A lot of times cheaper monthly payments, and you can go ahead and buy one for.
Yeah, but today, even if you're going to buy a car, look for your best deals because there's 0 down, 0% financing. That's one thing you can take for 6 years and not have to worry about paying a whole lot of interest because a car is a depreciating asset. It's not something that you want to have to pay a lot of money on. So sometimes leases will fit that parameter. Okay,
and I guess take a look at what some of those options are. If they give you cash back, compare it out to what some of that 0% financing might be. That might save you more time over the long one, right?
In all, there's not a right or a wrong way. It's better to lease, it's better to own. It really depends on your situation. But if you are going to lease, make sure you go with a reputable dealer in town and that you look over the lease agreement very closely.
Fine print.
So you understand all of the parameters of it.
Yeah, it's very important to read that. And anytime you sign a contract with a car or anything that's important like that, read that fine print. Mike Bonds from Charles Schwab, thanks so much for coming in. By the way, I got a comment on this. Merry Christmas, Mike. I love your Santa tie there. Rudolph's looking good. We'll see you very soon.
Take care.